Okay, let's go to 2-on-2s. Still looking at this from the midfield perspective. 2 middies, and we got 2 defenders out here. Okay. In all-even offense, I'm a big believer in that all-even offense. To gain an advantage, you have to have somebody go to the goal. Somebody's got to try to dodge and beat somebody one-on-one. If nobody dodges and you're just passing the ball around, the defense doesn't have to slide. They're never forced to be on their heels. They're playing even strength all the way around. If you have a little off-ball play, some coaches might say, well, we're passing it around, but we're going to have this great pick play on the backside. Well, that's nice and all, but if the person who's throwing the ball, who's trying to throw it to the person, let's say they've got the attackman down here, the ball's out here with this midi, and let's say that these attackmen are going to do a little pick play to try to get open. Well, if this midi's just hanging out, these 2 defensemen here never have to worry about sliding at all, so they can just switch, call the pick, play 2-on-2 on the pick play. If all of a sudden somebody's dodging here, and one of these guys has to think about sliding, and then you also have the pick play happening there, that becomes a lot more difficult to play defensively. So even if you have a pick play on, it's still really important that the offense, to initiate the offense, somebody has to go to the goal to try to beat someone one-on-one to make the defense slide. That's the beginning of how I think all-even offense should start. So 2-on-2 here, basic form of all-even offense. One of these guys is going to have to dodge to gain the advantage. We need to try to find out which of these 2 middies has a bigger advantage. Who do we want to be dodging to the cage here? And this is something when we're drilling this with our teams, you got your 2 middies out there. If this guy is a lefty and this guy's a lefty, well, it's pretty obvious that you want that guy to dodge because he's, as a lefty, is in a better spot on the field to dodge for his strength. If this person has a long pole defender playing him and this guy has a short stick defender playing him, well, you probably want to dodge the short stick to start. So in this situation, if this guy is still a lefty, I would have these guys switch spots. During the course of the play, before we even go to the goal, switch spots and get to the spot that you want to dodge from for your strength. So determine who we want to be the dodger. Identify the dodger. Okay. After we've identified that this is our lefty up here, he's our stud dodger, he's the guy we want to go to the goal, let's get him the ball. So he's got the ball. Okay, how are we going to move now to give this guy the biggest advantage we can? Well, if this midi out here, the best thing that he can do, he knows that this lefty wants to go for his left. He knows that guy wants to come hard for his left. So instead of hanging out here, if he simply just cuts through and takes his defenseman out of here, and so now there's a midi and defenseman over there, and clears this side for our guy to go for his strength, well, just by clearing out, he's helped his teammate out so much by clearing that space where the person can go for his left hand. That's the most simple thing that you could possibly do, is clear space for your teammate in the direction, this is getting everybody on the same page here, in the direction where he can go for his strength. Other things that you can do in a 2-on-2 setting are you can set picks. So a lot of coaches don't like to set picks on the ball because they think that's a good opportunity to double, which, that's some coaches' preference. That's fine. Personally, I don't mind setting picks on the ball if it's at the end of a game and the other team needs possession. I'm probably not going to have an on-ball pick because I don't want to give them that chance to double and put the ball on the ground. But if you set picks well on the ball, you can cause a lot of problems for the other team. We at Stanford 3 years ago, we didn't really have anybody offensively that could beat anyone one-on-one. But there's smart kids down there, and they're hard workers, great group to coach. But we had to have an offensive scheme where we had a couple guys on the field on offense. All they did was pick. Go pick on the ball, go pick off ball. That's all I want you to do, just mad pickers. And it ended up working well for us. In this we have a 2-2-2 setup or a 1-4-1, whatever it is. If this guy had the ball, we'd say, okay, we want you to go pick for him. But instead of coming just straight across and picking, act like you're cutting through and then come up behind the guy. Okay, as a dodger here, I forgot to mention this in the one-on-one segment, but as a dodger, it's much more effective to have your dodge start up a little higher towards the midline and to the middle of the field to be able to come north-south at the guy. That's a much more effective dodge than, and this is what happens with a lot of midfielders, you tell them that you want them to go for their strength, so they're a left-hander, is out here, they start dodging this way. And even if you get a step on your guy as you're going for your left, it's really hard to get a good hard shot on cage like that. So really force your midfielders when they start their dodge to get up a little bit higher into the middle of the field so that their dodge can be much more north-south. They're still sweeping, they're still going for their strength, but it's way more dangerous to the defense.